What does Trump think of all this Melania stuff? Donald, what do you think in there?
You know, let me tell you something. Michelle may have said it first, but Melania has a good rack, so we'll let her get off the hook.
Okay.
I'm
This
sorry,
is
what are you
from
gonna
the
do?
kid who was at Jesus camp last week. Lord Almighty.
Jesus camp changed me.
Yeah,
I don't
it
know.
did.
Michelle is a pretty attractive woman too, so I don't know who would win.
Whoa, Andrew, she's no Melania. Come on, I don't know where you're going.
I'm shutting your mic off. There we go. So, Tim, you have your new location.
Yes.
Is over in West Utica, and you're over near the finish line. And it was funny because who was it? Was it Roger who was in here the Friday before the Boilermaker? And I had to chuckle a little bit because he said, "What other race in the United States has a permanent finish line?"
Correct.
And I cannot help but go back to how that permanent finish line happened, because that was an Ed Hanna moment.
Hanna.
And no one knew it was coming, and all of a sudden, bam! He didn't consult anybody,
No.
the brewery, nobody. It was just there.
Yep.
Changed the road,
Exactly.
the street, and everything.
Yeah. We weren't the original ones that were supposed to get it, but we got it.
We got it.
That's good.
Yeah.
And the legend has it is, as a runner, and I follow this very strictly, not being too superstitious with other things, but you cannot, if you're training or you're running the race beforehand, you do not run under the arch before the race.
That tradition kind of goes to a lot of different things in regards to it. There's some schools that have an arch that you can only walk into it
but not out
when you're a freshman, and you can only walk out when you graduate.
Wow, interesting.
So it's kind of that. I mean, that's
And I believe it. Don't do it.
This is why when you go over to City Hall, you watch the mayor. Whenever he walks in, he walks around that little archway there.
That's
right.
what it is.
Yeah, because that's bad luck.
All right.
That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. We'll have to ask Mayor Palmieri. All right, but you're over in West Utica, and you're doing a lot of different things with the Boilermaker.
Correct.
When did the fitness the expo begin?
The expo's been around. Well, the original expo was in Riverside Mall back
I
when it was
remember
all
that.
connected together and whatever.
Yeah, when it was a mall.
When it was a real mall. So that.
But
goes,
it's how you've done things. That's healthy, and that's the bib program or the charity bib program, all these different things. But now you're a part of a community in West Utica, and you guys are doing things over there with your new offices.
Correct.
That I think are for the betterment of that West Utica area.
We have the urban garden that we've put in, which I just saw it yesterday. I could not believe how fast some of this stuff is growing. The only thing I can grow is basically dandelions as I look out on my lawn.
Miracle Grow, Tim. Miracle Grow.
But then on the back side of our building on Tuesdays, we have a public market, which, hey, today's Tuesday.
Here we are.
3:30 to 6:30, we have a series of vendors because we really don't have the opportunity in West Utica in our neighborhood to get nutritious, affordable, fresh food because it's a food desert there.
Yeah.
So we want to get people to drive there. We want to get people that walk there. So we've chosen specifically vendors that offer products that are good. So if you work around there, and we've chosen hours that we think are conducive for folks. When you're driving home. We have entertainment from 5 to 6. Some great entertainers that are out there.
Yeah.
So and also an educational component too.
And it's an event.
It's an event.
Yeah.
And why not? You pick up all your healthy stuff, then you head over to 1888 and Tavern, and you have yourself a nice happy hour.
And that's all natural too.
That's true.
I think what your plan there is a good plan. What you're doing there is it's a positive for that community, and those kids over there, I think need you think about it. Where's the grocery store?
All we have are like little bodegas.
Yeah,
and
there's a food land over there. I didn't know that it even existed anymore.
Mm-hmm. And one of the real problems for an area that has a fair amount of poverty in regards to it is transportation. We take it so for granted in regards to we jump into our cars or whatever it is. Many of our folks cannot afford cars. So, what do? You got to try to figure out the bus line, or you're taking a taxi cab.
Once a week to where you need to get all your groceries and stuff.
We had an Uber. We had a taxi guy on yesterday that was ripping on. Actually, he didn't come on the air, and I don't think he wants to come on the air. But he's very, very against Uber coming into town because it will put a hurt on the taxi services. And I think that would be a bad thing. I mean, you need a prosperous taxi service in a city, I think, is important because it lends to better cars, cleaner taxis, a better quality of driver. When you have that a taxi service that's doing well financially.
I think what Uber figured out was, I mean, they were really truly disruptors in regards to when they came in, they figured out social media far beyond before the taxi folks did. And, you know, I think if you talk to Gabby Cabby, I don't know how much he must have paid for a medallion down in New York City. It used to be $750,000.
Yeah,
I think now it's down to $300,000.
I think he works for a company. So
yeah, so somehow you've got to figure out in regards to dealing with the millennials, to dealing with people that you know these machines drive their lives.
Yeah,
they're not going to stand out there and hail.
In New York, you hail because it's New York. The problem is when you get and New York is its own unique city.
Right.
But even go to a city like Boston. Good luck hailing a cab in Boston because you're better off going near a hotel where the bellhop can actually get one for you. Try hailing a cab here. You can't. It's all about calling them, and that's the archaic thing. New York, I think, is a different beast.
You have mass.
You have huge numbers of taxis going by, and you just put your hand up and the taxi comes.
Right.
But you're not going to get that in other cities.
Right.
So interesting stuff. All right, Lieutenant Hauk is. All right. Hold on. Greg says that's not a food land. They sell lotto, beer, and Lord, I can't read this. Dear God. Okay.
Yeah, they have I think they have the name Foodland, but
so
I don't
it's
think
not
that
a.
they're not.
It's
No,
not
they're
an
not.
Authentic Foodland.
No.
Give Tim the. Maybe Tim wants to read the remark. That is so funny.